wasn't planning to make a video today, but then shit went down. Hi guys, it's Kav from Kavya the Bibliophile, and today I'm going to be talking about diversity. As you all can tell, I'm a person of color, and as most of you who follow me on Twitter will know, I identify as someone part of the LGBT community, and I've also had my fair share of experience with mental illnesses. So, diversity is something that's very close to my heart, and the amount of diversity in the book community as a whole, whether it's in BookTube, in authors, in the publishing industry, in books themselves, is something that I really care about. I've wanted to make this video for a while, and I wasn't sure how I wanted to go about it, but then this past weekend, as I said, shit went down. There are two main causes that I'm currently aware of, and the first one is a book that was published by Abrams Books, and from what I understand, it was a book published called Bad Little Children's Books, and it was supposedly a satire, comedic book that was supposed to poke fun, when really it just turned out to be racist. The other situation that's recently happened is the novel Carve the Mark by Veronica Roth features a bunch of dark-skinned antagonists going after a bunch of light-skinned protagonists, which perpetuates a very problematic stereotype. I thought, considering these two issues have been there on Twitter this entire weekend and people have been discussing and talking about them, this would be an appropriate time to get this video out and to have a discussion about diversity. Now, I'm not making this video to victimize myself in any way. I am fortunate enough to live in a liberal community and grow up around supportive parents, so I understand that I am in a place of privilege. So this video is not being made to victimize myself or say, look at me, I'm marginalized, feel sorry for me. That's not what I'm hoping to accomplish with this video. I'm just hoping that, considering where I stand, I can give a more personal view on how diversity affects a person of color or someone that's part of a marginalized community. The two biggest issues with diversity in books and in media as a whole are really the issue of just an entire lack of diversity or problematic stereotypes being perpetuated. Now, I think a big issue with problematic stereotypes being perpetuated comes from someone who doesn't truly understand writing a novel. For example, a lot of books about an individual with a chronic illness are written by an able-minded or able-bodied person. Now, this is not to say that someone who is able-minded or is able-bodied can't write a book about an individual with a chronic illness. They can, and it's good if they can, because they're diversifying with their writing and they're diversifying books. But they have a certain way that they should go about it. For example, they should have a group of readers who may deal with a chronic illness, reading their books and giving personal insight to them. I think that when you haven't gone through it personally, it's sometimes hard to write from a personal point of view about an issue such as a chronic illness or discovering your sexuality, and that doesn't mean that you can't, it just means that you have a certain way and a certain method that you should go about it. A huge issue with perpetuating racist stereotypes is creating dark-skinned antagonists fighting light-skinned protagonists. In my movie review about Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, I pointed out that the only colored actor was the villain, which is something that is seen in the media often and is something that we as readers and as consumers of media have to speak out about when we see it. It's easy when you're in a place of privilege to ignore it. A lot of times you don't even ignore it knowingly, but you just do it unknowingly because it's not something you're personally affected by. But there are so many who are affected by it, and I think that because we are in this position, we have to speak out about it and we have to stand up and say that it's wrong. For example, when it was revealed that Johnny Depp was in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, so many people started speaking out about it, and I think that that was a very good way of us being consumers trying to use our voices to get them to get him out of the movie. Another issue with lack of diversity is the fact that there is a lack of diversity in the publishing industry and in authors. Now, I'm not going to say there's none, as I haven't had any personal interactions with the publishing industry. I can't go too much into detail about that, but all I know are the stories I've heard and what I've read about the publishing industry. Now, with authors, there are of course diverse authors. I'm not saying that there are none, but a lot of the big authors we see aren't. They're usually white or straight or something of the sort. We just don't see as much writing from diverse authors as I think we should. And I think a lot of that issue does go into the publishing industry because there's even less diversity in the publishing industry than in authors themselves. I think one way for us as readers to get rid of that issue is to start looking at diverse authors and purchasing their novels, and looking at authors who have included diverse characters in their novels and purchasing them, and contacting publishers, telling them we like this, telling them we want to see more of this, because we have a voice. I know that we are going to have to push. This isn't going to be something easy, but it is something that is possible. For us as readers and as consumers, we can speak out about it. If I talk about my personal experience, I can say that growing up, it would have helped me a lot more if I had seen characters like myself in books and in media, which I didn't get to experience very often. I'm still growing up, but I'm at a point now where I understand the situation and I'm able to look at it with a different point of view than when I was growing up. But while growing up, I was much more ashamed of myself than I should have been, specifically because I didn't see my skin color represented. But that's not an issue I want anyone else to have to face, whether it be because of their sexual orientation, their gender identity, their skin color, their religious beliefs, their lack of being neurotypical, or anything of the sort. No one should have to feel that way. And I know you guys and I love you guys, and I want to believe that you guys don't believe anyone should feel that way either. I try to use my Twitter to speak out about these issues as much as possible, but I also have this channel, and I want this channel to also be a place where everyone feels safe and everyone feels welcome. But I think to do that, we also have to help improve the book community, because it is generally a great place, but that doesn't mean that there aren't issues within it. And we as readers and as consumers, and I don't know, maybe some of you guys are also content creators or are authors or something of that sort, we need to use our voices and we need to speak up against the issues that we see in this community. So many bigger booktubers apologized after they found out the issue with Carve the Mark, and I had an entire spree on Twitter where I thanked them for that and then asked them to go one step further by diversifying their books and incorporating more diversity into their videos, and I got some really kind replies from them saying that they were trying to, and I thank them for that. And I think that this issue has really brought to light what's currently going on, and I think it's really getting more people who are in a place of privilege to step out and see, which I'm really happy about and I'm really excited for. Over just this past weekend, I have seen so much improvement and so much talk of making things better, but now I want all that talk to go into action. I want all of us to really start doing something and books teach us so much. Books empower us, so I want us to use that empowerment for something good and to make this community even better than it already is. Diversity is something that's very important to me, and I could go on and on about it, but if I do that, I doubt many people are going to want to watch this. So I'm thinking of making this a series or trying to incorporate more diversity myself into my videos. And I'll definitely be sharing as many diverse books as I can on my Twitter and such, so that all of you guys can be aware. And this is just a cause that's very close to home for me. This is a very vague overview of diversity in the book community. I pointed out some of the issues in it, some of what I would like to see us as readers and consumers do in the future. And when I say us as readers and consumers, I mean me as well. These are all changes I'm hoping to start to make too, because I'm just now realizing how much more I can do in the position I'm in. I just want to make the book community even better than it already is, and I hope you guys join me in that by including more diversity into your books, into your reading, into your TBR piles, and I hope you start contacting publishing industries when you read a book by a diverse author that you enjoy, or you read a book with featuring a lot of diversity that you enjoy. So what I'm asking you to do for this video is to comment down below a book you know by a diverse author or a book that features a lot of diversity, and share this video to any of your friends who need a little insight on diversity in the book community. And that's mainly what I want to ask you guys to do. And I hope you guys will join me in making the book community even better by diversifying it. If you guys would like to see this as a series or would like to see more of this, please let me know, because it's a cause that I care a lot about, and it's something I'm very passionate about, so it's something I would be willing to put a lot of time and effort into. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all. Please know that you're worth everything and that you deserve the world. And have a great day or night wherever you are. And just remember that you have more power than you think you have. I love you guys. Bye!